Damn, little lady. You sure can't put it away.
Today we're going to be talking about how important health is. Health is wealth. We don't know what we're going to title yet. You'll find out when you're watching the fucking video.
Health equals wealth.
Which it does, but in this scenario, what we want you to take away from this episode is a little bit different. Two things. You will have 1,000 problems until you have one health problem, and that'll override everything else. And so the whole thing, we talk about health and whatnot. We talk about just making sure that you're treating yourself and your health as a priority, maybe not your top priority, which we'll get into. It should be your top priority though. Health is that's you, that's your life, that's everything.
Well, yeah, your body is your temple.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
This is the thing. We both own businesses. It's fucking hard. It takes a lot of time, late nights, early mornings. It's easy to come up with excuses to not take care of yourself. It's very easy to do that. Convenient meal from McDonald's, not work out in the morning, drink sugary sodas, to whatever. If you're not, all the excuses that you make building your business or because you're busy with school, because you're whatever, all these excuses you'll make when you get sick or when something happens with your health, that'll weigh a lot more than any excuse you ever made. And so that's the point what I want to make today. Yeah. Priorities, we can get into that.
Yeah.
But I think that
there's different sides of health that people need to understand. You have what's on the inside and what's on the outside that you can see. So if someone has a little pooge or a belly, they go, oh, I need to lose weight, right? That's what you can see on the outside, but sometimes you can't see what's going on the inside.
Of course.
Your hormones, your blood lipids, all of these things, your kidney function, your liver function. And without these things being in check and trying your best to live a healthier lifestyle, and we're going to get into a few things that there might be a few disagreements.
You can run into health issues.
You can run into health. This thing is like, so if you're trying to run a business or excel in your career, it doesn't have to be a business. The machine that you're in, the vehicle that you're in, is your body.
That allows you to do these things that you're trying to do.
Yes.
So that's a perfect example of why I think personally that health, listen, business is a huge priority. Just like you just said, if I don't sell, if I don't do work, I don't eat.
Of course, the health is number one. But if we're talking about giving up as an entrepreneur because of something health related, everybody's different. That's not me.
That's when we get into delegation.
I will work until I die. I will be signing a deal on my deathbed and say, okay, how many months? I'll see you in heaven. If I didn't have any legs, you got to give me robot feet.
I wonder.
I don't care.
Yeah, I wonder.
I won't stop. I'm not one of these people that, oh, geez, I got to close up. Listen, one thing that God blessed me with was the gift of gab, and I can talk to people, I can make them laugh, I can make them smile. They can see that I know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the way I am with people, it tends to work for me in business. And I could be fucking homeless and I could build a whole nother company. Like, I could do it. I could work something out. I could partner up with someone that has a great product.
New episode idea. We leave him with $0.
I could figure it
for
out.
A week.
I could figure it out.
Put him in the middle of Illinois.
I have to be a rainmaker. So some people might get sick and cry in the corner with the sad violin, right?
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And that's fine. Hang it up. Your health's priority. Give up business. Give it up. Go cry in the corner.
But there's other options than just giving up.
But me.
Dude, there's other options than giving up, though.
I could be like, what's the guy's name? Hawking?
Stephen Hawking.
And I will close the deal through a fucking tube. I will do it through a tube. I'll be like,
listen.
Let's talk about your business goals. And the typing will be on the screen.
You're missing the point.
Do you want to 3X your company?
No,
they'll nod.
Okay. Delegate. If you get sick, you fucking delegate. You find someone to do this thing.
I want to do it. I want to do it.
This
I
dude's
wanna
going to be
stay
worth
active.
$1 billion.
I want to
He's going to
stay
be on the streets.
I want to
fucking-
stay active. That's how you keep your mind. So these guys that sell off their companies and all they do is get drunk and go on boats, it gets boring after a while, bro. Like
That's why you start a new business.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So like,
Yes.
yeah, you start something else because the whole like retirement thing, I don't know what it is. I've heard stories that people, when they retire, their body just goes, I'm useless now.
Yo, when we sell, I'm going
not
to take
saying-
time off. I'm going to go on a boat.
I'm not saying someone retired is useless. Please clarify it. Don't twist my fucking words.
Twist, you're saying it.
If somebody is retired, it doesn't mean that they're useless. I believe there's a system in our body that we can't control.
I agree.
That says, well, you hung it up. I guess it's time to wrap it up. Time to go see the man upstairs.
There's proof. No, listen, this is a true thing. Stress on your body is not a bad thing to an extent, right? And
It keeps your mind going.
When I meet people who retired, they decline quicker than if they weren't retired. And that's true. It's a proven study. I mean, it's a true thing. That's why I agree with you to an extent. But to stay on topic, if I, knock on wood, if I, in a hypothetical situation, had an illness, I would find people to delegate my responsibilities within the business, the sales aspect or the operations aspect. I would find people to take over those things, and I would keep the business running. But just
That's you. And that's your
delegation
right.
is how you grow.
But that's how. No, I have to do. I have to do. I have to be involved. It's pleasure to my brain. It feeds me.
Wait, because now we're going into a different topic. So you would.
I feel like I get better health by getting by.
But you can still delegate and hire and do more while you're still doing it. So I don't even want to. Delegation is good.
You can try, but I will grind until I'm fucking.
So not
dead.
trying.
They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Just
Cue the clip.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking kill me!
It's so important. And honestly, it has to be a priority. I don't want to talk about getting sick or anyone getting sick. I don't wish that on anyone.
Everybody's different. Let's back up. If you're sick and you kind of sell your business and give up or whatever, that's totally fine. That's for you.
You can't say give up though.
I'm just
If you
saying.
get-
just whatever the word.
You throw in offensive words though.
I just said I relate a lot, so everybody knows, to Larry David. So Larry David.
I don't know who that is.
Larry David, the famous comedian. So I relate to him a lot because he puts himself in these situations where he's misunderstood. That song with that show, Larry David. So Larry David puts himself in these predicaments that I tend to, because I'm very transparent, upfront, and honest, and I say things the way they are. And sometimes people think, oh, that's offensive. I'm talking about me. If I got sick, I would go into the point of actually dying.
Yes.
When I die, I'm done.
And I'm taking that and I'm turning it into a real life scenario where if you're sick, which I wish that on no one.
No.
You can delegate.
You can delegate, absolutely.
You can hire.
That's what you want to do.
Because I mean, honestly, bro, at the end of the day, to grow a business, you got to delegate. You got to hire more people to do more sales, to do
It's
more
just
this,
that
to do more that.
if I'm laying in that bed or sitting in that chair,
You're still gonna sell. Just
my
don't-
conscience, my ancestors are going, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but you don't gotta throw in those words like, "Oh, you give up,
Get
you
out of
fucking
it.
loser."
No,
like what?
Let's back up. Someone, higher power, someone is going, get the fuck out of that fucking chair. The fuck?
Grabbing you by your shoulders.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of the fucking bed. It's fucking noon.
It's noon.
I have that driving force, that voice that goes, nope, let's go. Don't rely on anybody. You want to get it done, you get it done yourself. That's my belief.
Fuck with that.
That's my belief. That's my belief. That's my opinion. Hold on.
That's my opinion!
It would have to be such extreme circumstances. Like,
let's talk about what we can do to not get to that point. Because listen, like if you're sick, fucking like delegate, do as much as you can. Hopefully, don't close down the business. Keep making money, but like just we know that. But what I'm saying is, let's talk about how to prevent that. All right, so. I don't want to talk about what happens when you get sick, because the point of this is the
importance of health.
The importance of taking care of yourself so that you don't get sick, because at the end of the day, it's a bad. I don't wish that on anyone, not even my enemies. No one gets sick. I just don't, you know what I mean?
I want to talk about prevention for a minute.
Prevention.
So let's talk about prevention. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have a great career. You don't have to be a business owner. You could have a great career and have a family that relies on your income.
Director, whatever.
You could have a career where your family relies on your income, and you have to ensure that you are maintaining the highest level of health opportunity for you as a professional. Now, what does that mean? When we talk about prevention, running into possible health issues, it's not a guarantee that you're not going to run into those health issues, but it's a best practice just in case. And it doesn't hurt to make your best effort. Hey, at least you tried. You've all heard that. Now, I want to talk about diet. Mm-hmm. When we put things into our mouths, when we eat food, I will speak to certain friends and associates and colleagues, and I see them, sipping on a drink that has soy in it, and they're like,
well, let's not talk about just soy. Like we would just in general, like sugary, like.
Let's back up. Hold up. He's doing what I'm about to talk about. So you'll get people who say and dismiss, that one time's not going to do anything, right? And we all know, if you research, some people have an allergy to soy. Sometimes soy can do other things. It can, it does have some disruptive elements to it based on my research. So when somebody does that on a consistent, right, it builds up over time. Let's talk about, there's other ingredients in food, and we all know what junk food is. A little bit of junk food here, a little bit of junk food there, a little bit of chemicals here, chemical there, chemical here. Processed food. Here's a big one. Non-organic. Try your best to buy organic. And if you don't, then buy less. Buy less food if you can't afford organic. Because there's stuff on there that may not be the greatest for your health, and it's always good to be ahead of the game and not put that stuff in your body. People go, oh yeah, I bought this apple and it's it's a regular apple. The conventional stuff is not organic. And I know I don't want to get into the back and forth about, organic has some stuff. At least you're making the best effort. And make sure you're washing your fruit. Make sure you're washing your fruit. Make sure I know I'm sipping out of a plastic cup, but try to avoid plastics. Like, these are the important things. So when all of these little things add up, it's a cocktail. It's a compounding effect that can, in my opinion, impact your health in a negative way.
100%.
And if your health is impacted, how can you excel at your business or career? This is our body. Our body is our temple. It's what we operate in. It's what we do our day to day. It's how we get our drive. So then we get into hormones. Okay, how do I optimize my hormones? Especially if you're a little older. I'm 44. I have to optimize and work extra hard to push my natural hormone production to the highest level possible, so I have the fire of a fucking 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people my age that are just like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, in the back of my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So but I'm telling you, it's your hormones. Your hormones are going to impact, regardless what anyone thinks, your hormones are going to impact your level of achievement. If you are like the spearheader, you're the person that makes it happen, you have to optimize those all the time.
On a more macro outlook, everything you're saying, I 100% agree with. What I want to say is, there's this like old kind of joke or saying, you are what you eat, right? If you go on convenience, you're stopping at Chick-fil-A, you're doing all this, that's fine once in a while. But like, if that's all you're eating, and all you're putting in your body is processed, sugary foods with chemicals and all that stuff, you are not going to feel good. And in the long run, it's not going to benefit you at all. It's going to hurt you. So the whole point of it is like eating those whole foods, cooking your own food, eating organic meals, whatever it ends up being, not only, and stuff that's just generally more, healthy, you're going to feel better in the short run, and you're also going to be benefiting yourself in the long run as well. It's just, this stuff is so important. What you put into your body is what drives you. It's what keeps you motivated or lazy. It's what it's you. It's literally you.
As a professional, and I talk to so many people. I'm like, do you, my first question all the time is, do you take a multi? It's probably because I in college I used to work at a supplement store. That was usually like the first question I would ask. Their reason for pushing me to say that was to push the multivitamins, but it was a great segue to find out what somebody's protocol was. Do you take a multi? I will ask friends and family and associates or colleagues, what do you take for multi? It's scary to me that some people say, well, I don't really take anything. So your vitamins, just like the great Sean Ray, the famous bodybuilder, he said this. He goes, supplements are an insurance policy. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Sean Ray. So Sean Ray talks about his supplements. He says, these are an insurance policy. Mm-hmm. He goes, they're not a replacement.
They're supplemental.
They're a supplement to make sure that you're at least getting what you're supposed to be getting.
At the minimum, take a multivitamin if you want to get kind of into it and really make sure that you feel good, because I can tell you right now, eating good and taking the right vitamins, I wake up quicker in the morning, I feel good, I work out, everything is better. Clarity. There's clarity throughout my day. I will say the one thing that you can get into this is go get a blood test done. Go to your doctor, say, I want to get a blood test, a general blood test to see where all my stats are, see what you're missing, and then take a vitamin that will supplement that, as well as a multi. I take a multivitamin, then I take like 11 or 12 other ones, and I don't take them every day. I take them, some I take every other day. I have a whole regimen, but you can get into this by getting a blood test done and going and taking the supplements that are going to help you, feed your body of the nutrients that you're missing.
So here's the problem with that. And this is something that I ran into, maybe not you, but when I went to my doctor, hey, can you run some tests? He had to for me to, when you go through the doctor to get like your everyday primary, they have to type in reasons why they had to run certain tests.
My doctor didn't have to do that.
And then I got a random bill for like stuff that my insurance company wouldn't cover. And I'm like, so you're better off.
Is there other ways you can go get a blood test?
You're better off going to like an independent lab like Quest Diagnostics and getting a full metabolic and hormonal panel that will give you a breakdown on everything from total testosterone to estrogen to your liver function, kidney function, all that stuff. And
antioxidants within your body.
It's not that expensive at all. I think it's like, I don't want to quote a price because I don't know.
Well, some insurances cover it, but it could be like $100 or something.
Yeah. So if you just go direct and you scan your insurance card, they'll sometimes just, when you go through the doctor, I don't know if the doctor offices are jacking it up.
Some doctor offices are different, I think.
Yeah. So like, I was like, whoa. I remember one test was like $600.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, was it like maybe it was a full panel?
Dude, just for me to get my testosterone level checked was $600 that insurance didn't cover. And I was like pissed off. And then I kind of learned.
That shows you right there.
Yeah, I learned
they don't want you to know these numbers. I'm not going to get into that.
So you should get your hormones checked all the time. And it's not just, you don't have to be a weightlifter or fitness person, just for health, well-being. Let's say you're kind of feeling in the dumps a little bit. You're feeling a little bit depressed. Certain hormones might be just out of whack. Now, there are lifestyle changes, diet, and activities that you can do to boost.
Coupled, yeah.
For example, if you want to give yourself a boost in growth hormone naturally, which will allow your body to heal, try to do 100-yard sprints every couple times a week. Sprint, do eight runs as fast as you can. That's pretty much guaranteed to increase your natural, which is called endogenous production of growth hormone, which is the sprint, not the jog. Talking about as fast as
high
you
intensity
can.
interval training.
What's his name? Usain Bolt?
Usain Bolt.
The guy from Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to run like Usain Bolt. Fast as you can. If you want to get into timing yourself, that gets really fun too. I do it at least once or twice a week, sometimes 3.
2 stories. I don't want to forget the second one,
Yeah.
sprinting on the beach. I want to talk about how fucking hard that was. But wait, first off, I have a story about vitamins.
And you went in the water while I'm
Right, no, listen. So I've been talking about supplements and vitamins and all this stuff with my family, my grandparents, because I want them to be healthy. My grandparents are getting old and they're in good shape. They're healthy. I go to my grandparents' house this past weekend, and my grandfather looks at me in the eyes and he goes, I almost overdosed on vitamin D. I'm like, what are you talking?
What's he taking?
A lot, because of COVID and all that stuff, and so he wanted to just take a lot, and he goes, I didn't realize, and I'm like, how much were you fucking taking? Apparently it was a lot. He said something.
So he can push by taking too much vitamin D, to my understanding. Again, this is based on what I read on the bottle. Disclaimer, this isn't a medical recommendation. Based on what the bottle says. You know what? I don't operate like that, so it's crazy to me. I'm like, I feel like I'm on another planet sometimes.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
He said, all right. What I read on the bottle and what I've been told by other medical
5,000
professionals.
or something?
5,000's
Yeah.
about like the
I think he was taking 15.
5,000 IUs of vitamin D3.
5,000, yeah.
But you can go, or let me back up. I have went. So my personal decision as an adult that I chose to do on my own without anything else was take 10,000 IUs. But you need to take it with K2 to push the calcium into your bones. This is very important. So sometimes as you get older, you get calcification in your arteries. If you have this going on, a good preventative measure is to research and talk to your medical professional about supplementing vitamin D with K2. When you combine those two together, now you're really drawing that calcium out of where it shouldn't be and pushing it where it should be, which is your bones. Because as you get older, sometimes your bones can get a little bit weaker and you don't want to run into that.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that when I first got into supplements, it was hard to understand what to do. That's why I mentioned the blood tests and whatnot. If you want to get into supplements, you don't know what you should take, but you understand yourself and your lifestyle, send us a DM and we'll help you in the right direction on what maybe you should start. I don't know if I can say this, but you should start taking, how you can start, what are good brands, and stuff like that. And I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that if I had, since we're friends, I had you as that resource, and so it was a lot easier to get into things. I mean, I've sent this guy like texts with like 30 different things and say like do you remember that? And I was like, which one should I take? Which one should I take out? And so we DM us and we'll help you with the same thing.
Well, I used to be a big believer in ashwagandha, and now I proceed and tread lightly about using that because I did notice
certain side effects.
A side effect that happened with me. Maybe it doesn't happen with other people, but I was desensitized to reaction to life events. I noticed it. It was like a dulling of any.
Yeah, that's.
Well, but it was across the board. It was dulling of anger, It was a dulling of anxiety, which, okay, if you dull anxiety, that's good. But it was dulling like happiness. It was dulling all the emotions. So all the emotions and senses were go down. To me, I thought it was a good supplement to take because it would help me manage stress a little bit easier, which it did. But I didn't like the dulling of all the senses because I'd like to feel some joy.
Mm-hmm. And then I want to get into the sprinting story because that was funny. That shit was hard.
So we were in Florida, and I'm very committed and rigid.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I don't care where I am. I'm going to work out.
Don't make it seem like I didn't do work.
When I get a hotel, I always ask, "Do you have a gym?" And they have to have a gym, and they're yeah. So I was on a schedule, and I did sprints, and I wanted to try to do a sprint on the beach.
We were doing sprints, and we're like, you know what? One day we were like halfway through, maybe, and we're like, yo, let's go do it down at the beach because we were like literally a walk away. It was right across the street, and so we get down there, and we're doing sprints, and I'm realizing that holy fucking shit, doing sprints in the sand and like loose sand, not wet sand. The thing is, the beach was like. It was high tide and the beach like dipped down. So the only sand that was wet, that was like tough, was like on a like it was on like a weird incline. And so it was like impossible.
It was running. I was sprinting.
It was hard
So say that it was at an angle like this, and I'm sprinting across it like that. Not really smart for your ankles, but
and so I'm thinking in my head, swimming is also an amazing workout. So while he sprints, breaking his fucking ankles, running in this loose sand and just not fun, I'm gonna swim beside him, and I'm gonna swim sprints, which swimming is an amazing full body workout. I don't care what anyone says that I mean, genuinely, like, look at professional swimmers. I mean, they're fucking ripped. So I started swimming because it was really hard to run in the sand.
Talked about diet,
just health in general.
Try to eat good foods, whole foods. So what is whole foods? Eggs, steak, grass-fed beef, chicken,
fucking eggs.
Make sure you get for eggs, make sure you try to get the Vital Farms pasture raised
Vital Farms
organic eggs.
Shout out to them. That is another topic that we should get into. Ready? So I went to go get eggs. I only had a couple Vital Farm eggs left.
Vital Farms, shout out.
And then I grabbed like Nature's. I'm not going to say who it was. I grabbed a different brand of eggs, very generic. Which one do you think is Vital Farms?
The top one.
Oh my God.
So the color of the yolk.
I don't know if you can see this.
You don't even need. You just
Should
need
I
to
come up close to the camera?
You need to just put that in your ads.
Look at the top one.
That's what sells.
That is Vital Farms, which they're all deep orange yellow.
Yeah.
They taste fresh, light, fluffy. And then there's other brands, which are the bottom three.
Yeah.
I took this picture because, before I was always getting Vital Farms, and I was thinking to myself, like, they promised, and they went through this whole thing with PETA, whatnot, that they weren't actually pasture raised. They are. I think it's like 108 square feet per chicken, which is amazing. True pasture raised chickens, and you get these amazing eggs out of them. I didn't realize the fucking difference, and then I crack it open. And I pour it into this steel mixing bowl that I use pretty much every morning when I make eggs. And you can see the difference. The top one just looks better, and the bottom three are just don't look good at all. I'm not going to name that brand, but they look like trash to me. I didn't eat them.
So let me wrap up diet.
Yeah. Well, that is kind of. Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're getting enough protein, anywhere from 0.5 gram to 1 gram per pound that you weigh. Listen up. You take how much you weigh, say 200 pounds. You should have anywhere from 100 grams to 200 grams of protein per day. Well, how do you do that? You take 200 and you divide it by how many meals you eat per day. Now, you could do 3 squares like everyone else, or you could do 4, or you could do 2, or you could do 1. However you want to rotate that, but make sure you're getting enough protein. If you cannot get that much physical mass in your stomach, especially if you're trying to do OMAD, which I don't do anymore.
Hard.
Yeah. I feel like I needed to get more nutrition. If you're doing that, you got to take in some protein shakes because it's less mass in your stomach.
We had an episode recently, Top Picks, where you get the perfect protein shake. Drink one of those in the morning, and then you get an extra, what is it? I don't remember.
30 grams.
30 grams of protein, just like that.
30 grams. So make sure you're getting enough protein. Carbs, you don't have to go crazy. Depending how you are genetically and how your body responds to carbohydrates, I personally keep mine around 100 a day. 100. Sometimes I'll have some lower days where I'm trying to like lose a little water or burn a little bit more fat. Everybody's different, but this is what I do. So I try to make sure I don't go crazy with the carbohydrates, but vegetables, always try to have a meat and a vegetable. Meat, vegetable. So what kind of vegetables are we talking about? Broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, sweet potato. You can get into like yams, other things, but just try to think in your head, meat and vegetable. Now, fruit, do not, or I don't, have more than one fruit serving per day. What is a fruit serving? A couple blueberries, a medium-sized banana, a couple tangerines, nothing crazy. That's what you're serving of fruit. So you just kind of want to make sure you're feeding your gut biome. That's another thing. Making sure you have a variety of food coming in. A variety of food to feed your gut biome. This is basically the bacterial landscape or the
bacterial landscape of your stomach.
Inside your digestive system. And this will impact your body in many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I've run into crazy stomach issues because of that.
So you got to make sure you have a variety of food. So make sure you're getting like sauerkraut. I don't go crazy.
Yogurt
I don't eat a whole bowl of sauerkraut. But what I do is I take a couple spoons.
Fermented vegetable pickles is a good one.
I eat it as like almost like a vitamin. I'm just like just to get it into my system. Probiotics you want to consider. But again, nutrition is very important. Lastly, and then we'll wrap up the show, is exercise. You have to make sure, and again, we're talking about health here, make sure you incorporate some resistance training into your schedule.
It can be like 30 minutes in the morning.
Once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Full body. So what I do is I do full body 3 times a week. And in between it's rest. Not rest. I do weight training 3 times a week. And then I do sprints 2 to 3 times a week, and then 1 day of full rest. I don't do anything but lay around. And
one thing I will say, a little tip of protein for protein is like if you're eating chicken and you don't, or like a meat and you don't know how much protein you're getting. One thing I do is like with steak, chicken, whatever. I know everyone's palm is different, but the size of your palm, that serving of chicken is around 20 to 30 grams of protein. So if you have like a chicken breast or whatever, and it's like 2 of your palms, that's gonna be 40 to 60 grams of protein. Same with steak, I'm pretty sure, and a lot of other proteins. But that's something that I used to follow. If you don't have like any like scale or anything where you can do like the micro, micro measurements on actual proteins and stuff, the palm of your hand is around 20 to 30 grams of protein. That's one tool that I used.
And without paying attention to these things, what you're putting in your body, what nutrients you're getting, how much exercising you're doing, it will set you up. If you neglect these things, most likely it will set you up for some kind of issue down the road. And if you really want to excel at what you're doing, you need to keep the vehicle that you're running in, which is your body, running at the highest level of performance, optimal performance, 24/7. And here's the thing, and I know I said this on another show, limit as much as you can alcohol consumption.
Moderation.
Limit it as much as you can, because that can hold you back to a certain extent because of what it does in the body. I don't know if anybody has heard of what catabolism is.
Yeah.
Catabolism is when your body uses muscle for fuel, and you want to keep your body in a state of anabolism. Doesn't mean you have to be a weightlifter or trying to be a bodybuilder. It doesn't mean that necessarily, because you want to retain as much muscle as you can.
You want your body to use your fat as energy.
Yeah, you want to use the fat as energy. So try to live more of a vice-free life, and you'll tend to notice that you're getting better performance in life overall. I guess that will...
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. I hope you gained some value out of this. Like I said before, message us if you want us to help you with anything, lifestyle, whatnot. Thank you. Yeah, check us out on Instagram for updates and more. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Peace out. See you next time. Goodbye.